smoke Kabane comes back to chase them. Elsewhere, Ikuma, trapped in a tunnel, tries to dig out Mume, who's pinned down by rocks. But just then he hears a horde of Kabane coming for them. So like the goody little two shoes that he is, whips out his modified piercing gun and desperately fights off the Kabane, eventually blowing him and the rest of the overpowering horde up. Later, Mume wakes up to shoes that he is, whips out his modified piercing gun and desperately fights off the Kabane, eventually blowing him and the rest of the crew of the horde up. Later, Mume wakes up to shoes that he is, whips out his modified piercing gun and desperately fights off the Kabane, eventually blowing him and the rest of the crew of the horde up. Later, Mume wakes up to shoes that he is, whips out his modified piercing gun and desperately fights off the Kabane, eventually blowing him and the rest of the crew of the horde up. Later, Mume wakes up to shoes that he is, whips out his modified piercing gun and desperately fights off the Kabane, eventually blowing him and the rest of the crew of the horde up. Later, Mume wakes up to shoes that he is, whips out him and the rest of the crew of the horde up. Later, Mume wakes up.
Start winning in Fortnite.
Iron Fortress there to help her, and she spots an injured Ikuma in the distance. But just then, they hear the penetrating rumbles of the smoke demon. It's back. Okay, hold on. Don't we remember when we reached this station? The survivors were already telling us, basically warning us about what took over this station. This black smoke monster. We remember? So it shouldn't come as any surprise that the same monster that the survivors told us about is the one to ruin everything. This is a case example of poor listening skills just in general. Another name for this ginormous creature is a fused colony, and that's what this abomination basically is. It is a titanic amalgamation of Kabane, with its signature trait being that it will often take in humans and Kabane dead or alive to grow in size and therefore power. Now, its only weak